Now, if you haven't been to the Congo, talk about desolate. I mean, they don't have a dog or a cat or a bug. They eat it all because they're so poor. I mean, these guys just sit there basically on nothing, on water, dirty, filthy water is maybe all they live on. They have a little bit of rice, but they genuinely seem happy. I mean, not that they wouldn't prefer more, but you know, as a lifestyle, that's what they do. The AIDS epidemic over there, about 1 in every 10 had AIDS. Now, we were really fortunate, and we were always with guards because it's a pretty impoverished area, and you could never travel at night. But it just made me sit back and think of how these people actually live and how they get through the day and the things that we take for granted with us, that they have to, you know, actually get through it. So even though my day may get tough at times, I think back and said, it's not that bad. So again, I've been really fortunate to see the world, see so many different things, so many different opportunities, and really just be blessed. My children have traveled, probably been to about 10 countries at least. A lot of times now I'm a bit spoiled. I go to the Bahamas. I actually went, I got my scuba diving license in St. John's probably about 8 or 9 years ago. And just recently, I think about 3 years ago, was in Belize. And we were swimming with the sharks. Someone had cut themselves, not intentionally swimming with the sharks, but someone had cut themselves, and within minutes there were 7 or 8 sharks that must have been anywhere from 8 to 10 feet long, swimming all around us. Now, he fortunately got back in the boat. We hung really cool and took it easy, but it was just amazing to see these sharks while they come back and they come into you, you know, literally from, you know, nowhere. I had swam with different schools, had done midnight diving. And if you've never been in the bottom of the ocean, maybe 40, 50 feet down, in the pitch black, it is so dark you can't even see the hand in front of your face. It's just amazing. And they have different things that you would do, and lights and all the different things. But I actually had about my 4th or 5th day of of scuba diving, I almost had the ability to know what heaven was like. I was actually down about 30 feet, and it was a brilliant sunny day in the crystal clear blue waters, and I was lying on my back looking up, and the sun was just beaming through that. And I said, if there is a heaven, this has got to be what it feels like. It was so peaceful, no movement, just this brilliant, bright light that's just shining out there. And that was a pretty moving time for me. I actually, like I mentioned, I live in Southampton, and we're about a half mile away from the ocean, so I'm at the ocean often. I've tried surfing, not really much for me. I'd rather be on the beach with the bikinis than out there bumping up and down and bouncing all over the place. It's really not built for me. But, you know, I tried windsurfing. I've parasailed before. I'm not really much of a surfer, even though I have taken lessons. You know, I'm just not built for it. Plus, my surfboard's like 22 feet long, 8 feet wide. It takes 4 guys to carry the damn thing just to hold me. So that really didn't work out too well. But, you know, I'm really game for anything. I've been, like I mentioned, I've been whitewater rafting. I can drive just about anything, a manual and automatic transmission. I've driven 18-wheelers. I've driven snowmobiles. I've, you know, raced snowmobiles before. I've skied all over. I've gone up above the tree line out in Colorado and gone down uncharted territory as far as skiing goes. I tried snowboarding, again, the older I get, the harder that damn ground is. So I do try it. My kids snowboard, but it's really not much for me. But I continue trying as much as I can. Along with that, I've really done just about everything. A friend of mine, Gear, which is actually shooting this right now, he's a pilot. He's taken me up many times, and we used to go, for instance, to Block Island for martinis on Thursday and shoot over to Boston for lunch and just do some really unique things. And so we've flown all over the place. We actually did kind of a 4-day trip just a few years back where we would actually, instead of driving to different areas, we flew over to Nantucket, rent a car, rent a hotel room. We hung out there for the day, then go over to Martha Vineyards, then over to Boston, and we just bopped all around. What I'd like to do relatively soon is get in the plane, and we're actually going to go across country, fly over to the different areas, visit them, and save us a lot of time as far as, you know, the drive time, but see the countryside and go all over the United States. So that's something that we'll do relatively soon. One of my dreams is visiting 100 countries. It's something I'm going to do. I've got well over 30 right now. I typically do about 2 or 3 countries a year, and typically go to maybe a handful of states a year. Was just in Scotland, and we went out to the distilleries for Glenfiddich in Macallan, and Macallan. And even though I'm not much of a Scotch drinker, to touch and drink that 30-year-old Scotch was really something. And I understand now why they drink so much out there. I don't know if you, I hope none of the women over there are Scottish, but there are some big Scottish women over there. So I tell you, at least where I was, I'm sure they're beautiful, and I'm sure whoever's watching this, if you're Scottish, you're very beautiful. But for the most part, boy, whoo, whole lot of drinking going on. So I was just out doing that. I also went to the Parliament. You know, I saw the House of Lords and also the Parliament, how they work. So I'm really into the culture, and when I go and do and see different things, I really understand what the people do. I ask a lot of questions. We always stay locally, and I try and do different things. I also have this thing where I learn to say thank you in different languages. Now, obviously, I know Polish, dziękuję, there's different things, but I've got about 17 or 18 different languages that I can basically say thank you, whether it's Chinese or Japanese or Lithuanian. You know, I tend to try and get as many different thank yous out of me as much as possible. So worst case, you don't understand them, you can always say thank you. So wherever I'm going, I at least know that. Let's see, what else? I think that, you know, this is pretty much my life, my, things that have been going on and what I've basically been doing. Most of all, I really appreciate the opportunity. I'd love to have the experience and also try different cultures, different customs, obviously different medicine and whatever is out there. And maybe you can fix my elbow and my shoulder. And also, I've got a bit of insomnia, so I'd love to have a little bit of work on that because I don't sleep much, a couple hours a night. So if you could help me with the insomnia, my teeth grinding, my lower back pain, my shoulder, my elbow, my foot, I got a foot issue. Other than that, I'm perfect, I swear. And so thank you again. Again, this is Michael Wudyka, and I appreciate the opportunity. Thank you. Hi, I'm Michael Wudyka. I'm excited about the opportunity for National Geographics. It's...
Alright, let's do that. I was going to ask you, did you turn off your phone?
Yes, my phone's off.
Okay. Oh, that's what I meant to ask you, but then I left mine on. Let's just start from the top.
30, she said, oh, like 30 minutes. I said, that's an awful long time to talk.
That's a long fucking time to talk. I mean, 3 minutes is a fucking long time.
Yeah, well, we'll just do whatever we can.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess what they're trying to see is, because for 30 minutes, you have to sort of like go in a sense like, wander and just sort of, they want to see where you like get comfortable.
Right. All right, so I'll make it, I'll elaborate a little bit maybe.
Yeah, just chat.